Good day, sir. We are Group 7 and we are discussing the currents of the global ocean.
Norwegian Current. Norway Current, branch of the North Atlantic Current, sometimes considered a continuation of the Gulf Stream. The Norway Current enters the Norwegian Sea north of Scotland and flows northeastward along the coast of Norway before flowing into the Barents Sea. Norway Current, branch of North Atlantic Current, sometimes considered a continuation of the Gulf Stream. The Norway Current enters the Norwegian Sea north of Scotland and flows northeastward along the coast of North Norway before flowing into the Barents Sea, with subsurface temperature ranging from 46 degrees Fahrenheit in Celsius is 8 degrees in the south to about 39 degrees Fahrenheit, and in Celsius is 4 degrees in the north. The current exerts a moderating influence on the climate of Norway and northern Europe. The main flow of water reaches a velocity of about 0.5 knot and is dispersed westward in eddies that meet those of southwest flowing East Greenland Current. This thermal mixing of the water creates excellent fishing grounds, especially around coastal regions of the Faroe and Shetland Islands and of Norway. As you can see in the picture, this is the weather condition in the Norwegian Current. In western Norway, conifers and broad-level trees abound in approximately equal numbers. The largest forests in Norway are found between the Swedish border and the Glomma River, east of Oslo. About half of the Ostlandet region is forested. The region is also has about of half of Norway total forest resources and an equivalent share of the country's total area of fully cultivated land. Nearly one-third of the area of Trondelag is forested. North of the Arctic Circle, there is little spruce and pine grows mainly in the inland valleys amid their surprisingly rich vegetation. Wild berries grow abundantly in all regions. They include blueberries and cranberries of small size as well as yellow cloudberries, a fruit-bearing plant of the rose family that is little known outside Scandinavia and Britain. Speed of the current. There is much variability in the current velocities, ranging from as little as 20 centimeter to 100 centimeter. At its maximum, it is characterized by a velocity of 30 centimeters. Density. Temperature, salinity, and density between Norway and Bjorn is in August 1998 and the location of current meter mooring used in 4. The border between the Norwegian coastal current and Nordkapstromen and the splitting of Nordkapstromen is evident in the salinity plot. The dense outflow in the deep part of Bujorno dipet is seen in the density and the temperature plots.
The behavior of the current in the Norwegian current. In the scene from a saline osmotic pressure viewpoint as a continuation of the Baltic current and means relatively less salty ocean water than would intuitively be expected counterbalance the naturally non-saline precipitation and ice melt tapping up the Arctic seas. The current uses of the Norwegian Trench picking up fresh and brackish water. It is a surface current. It flows along the top 50 to 100 meters. As the current moves north-northeast, saltier North Atlantic drift water joins. The benefits to marine life and to the nearby life. The Norwegian Seas acts as a transition zone between boreal and Arctic climatic condition, and therefore its habitat shares the characteristics from both these climates. Diatoms are the major phytoplanktons that is found here. Zooplanktons like copepods and different krill species also occurs in the waters. Notable shrimp species like the Pandulus borealis serves an important role in the diet of fish like blue whiting and cod. Extensive coral reefs of the cold water and coral lop Lopelia pertusa are found in the waters of the Norwegian seas. These coral reefs provide shelter for various species of fish. The sea's habitat acts as a crucial spawning ground for the reproduction of fish like herring. These fish begin their life in the Norwegian Sea, and after their eggs hatch in March, they migrate to the Barents Sea during the summer months. This fish then comes back to the Norwegian Sea upon maturity. Some other important fish species that are found here include blue whiting, capelin, cod, mackerel, and rockfish. Warm current and cold current in Norwegian current. An important aspect of the Norwegian current is its effect on the ice cover in the Barents Sea. Compared with the cold and fresh Arctic water, the waters of the Norwegian current are relatively warm and saline. The exchange of heat between these two water masses is enhanced during years with a positive NAO or North Atlantic Oscillation pattern pattern when under these conditions the transport of heat by the Norwegian current into the Arctic region is stronger than normal. So now let's proceed to the North Atlantic Drift. The third location of the North Atlantic Drift, found in the Gulf Stream, together with its northern extension of the North Atlantic Drift, is a warm and swift Atlantic Ocean current that originates in Gulf of Mexico and stretches to the tip of Florida and follows the eastern coastlines of the United States and Newfoundland before crossing the Atlantic Ocean as the North Atlantic Current. The description of this is the North Atlantic Current, also called as the North Atlantic Drift, part of a clockwise setting ocean current system in the North Atlantic Ocean, extending from southeast of the Grand Bank of Newfoundland, Canada, to the Norwegian Sea of northwestern Europe. It continues the northeastward extension of the Gulf Stream. The latter issues from the Gulf of Mexico and gradually emerged as the North Atlantic Current in mid-ocean. It is composed of several Borge currents with speeds of about 0.2 knots as compared with the Gulf Stream's rather concentrated flow at 1 to 6 knots. The weather condition of North Atlantic Drift characterized by warm temperature and high salinity. The North Atlantic Current is sometimes concealed at the surface by shallow and variable wind drift movements. The current often mixes with northern cold polar water to produce excellent fishing grounds near islands and along the coast of northwestern Europe.
Weather condition. The combination of the warm current and prevailing westerly winds help maintain a mild climate in northwestern Europe. Major branches of the current include the Irminger, Norway, and Canary currents. Resulting weather to land. The relatively warm waters of the North Atlantic Drift are responsible for moderating the climate of Western Europe, so that winters are less cold than would otherwise be expected at its latitude. Without the warm North Atlantic Drift, the UK and other places in Europe would be as cold as Canada at the same latitude. Resulting weather to land. The North Atlantic Drift widens considerably to several hundred miles, slow to less than 1 miles per hour, and split into several subcurrents. Of the British Isle, it's split into two branches, one going south, the Canary Current, and the other going north along the coast of West and North Europe, where it exerts considerable influence upon the climate as far as northwestern Europe. Speed of the current. It is composed of several broad currents with speed of about zero point 0.2 knots as compared with Gulf Stream rather concentrated flow at 1 to 6 knots. Density. Its density of 1.02778 causes it to sink the bottom of the Mediterranean and overflow across the submarine seal at the Strait of Gibraltar, whence it sinks and spread at a depth of about 1000 meters or 3300 feet in the Atlantic. Behavior of the current. In the North Atlantic, the trade winds maintain a fairly steady current from east to west, partly by the direct action of the wind and partly by maintaining an accumulation of warm water on the northern side of the current. A great bulk of water carried by this current continues into the Caribbean Sea and through the Strait of Yucatan into the Gulf of Mexico, from which it flows out as the warm and swift Florida current through the Straits of Florida. Behavior of the current. This current, reinforced by water that has flowed on the eastern side of the Antilles as the Antilles current, forms the Gulf Stream of the North American East Coast. The Gulf Stream follows the coast closely to the north and northeast as far as Cape Hatteras, continues at some distance from the coast and turns increasingly toward the east, flowing due east to the south of the Grand Banks of Newfoundland in latitude 40° north. Benefits to marine life and to the nearby life. The North Atlantic Current often mixes with northern cold polar water to produce excellent fishing grounds near island and along the coast of northwestern Europe.
For North Atlantic drift, warm current or cold current. The North Atlantic Current or NAC, also known as North Atlantic Drift, and North Atlantic Sea movement is a powerful warm western boundary current within the Atlantic Ocean that extends the Gulf Stream northeastward. The current is unique in that it transports warm water to latitudes higher than in any other ocean, thereby producing the moderate climate of Europe and Western Scandinavia. Because of the rapid advection of the North Atlantic Gyre, the temperature of the surface water of the NADC almost always exceeds that of both surrounding waters and the overlying atmosphere from Rossby of 1996. Then the water temperatures in March are at around 8 degrees Celsius in the NADC, while ranging from 2 degrees Celsius to 6 degrees Celsius in surrounding waters. For the Canary Current, for the chart location, this wide and slow-moving current is thought to have been exploited in the early Phoenician navigation and settlement along the coast of western Morocco. The ancient Phoenicians not only exploited numerous fisheries within this current zone, but also established a factory of Isles purpureus of present-day Nigeria for extracting Altarian purple dye from a marine gastropod Murex species. Uh, Description: the Canary Current is a wind-driven surface current that is part of the North Atlantic Gyre. This eastern boundary current branches south from the North Atlantic Current and flows southwest about as far as Senegal, where it turns west and later joins the Atlantic North Equatorial Current. The current is named after the Canary Islands. The archipelago partially block the flow of the Canary Current. For the weather condition, the mild climate occurs largely because of the island's location in the path of the Canary Current. The Canary Current is a cool ocean current which flows towards the southwest. The islands block this current so are directly affected by these cooler waters. Temperatures on the islands are usually a couple of degrees cooler than expected at their latitude. Canary Islands are on the same latitude of much hotter places, such as the Sahara in Mexico, but are cooler because of this current. The archipelago generally experiences mild winters and warm summers. Year-round, the Canary Islands receive warm, sunny weather with an average temperature that ranges from 17 degrees Celsius in the winter to 24 degrees Celsius in the summer. There are really major temperature extremes, though it is not uncommon for the mercury to rise above 30 degrees Celsius in the peak of summer, especially in eastern areas. The islands closer to Africa are hotter and drier than those to the west. Resulting weather to land. As the current flows around the Canary Island, it helps to lessen the heating effect of the Sahara to the east. The thermal mixing creates excellent fishing grounds in the region.
For the speed of the currents, the Canary Current flows along the African coast from north to south between 30° north and 10° north, and offshore to 20° west. Like other eastern boundary current, it is wide 1,000 kilometer and slow 10 to 30 centimeter per second, and it blows yearly around towards the equator. Its surface currents are relatively cool because as it travels south, it brings upwell water from the coast. On average, the current is about 500 meter deep and flows at a speed of 10 to 15 centimeter per second. For density, the Canary Current flows along the African coast from north to south between 30° north and 10° north, and offshore to 20 degrees south. Like other eastern boundary current, it is wide 1,000 km and slow to 10 to 30 centimeter per second, and it blows yearly toward the equator. Its surface water are relatively cool because as it travels south, it entrains upwell water from the coast. On average, the current is about 500 meter deep and flows at a speed of 10 to 15 centimeter per second. The Canary Island archipelago reaches depth of more than 3,000 meters, and those from an obstacle to the flow of the Canary Current. Behavior of the current. Canary Current, also called Canary's Current, part of clockwise setting ocean current system in the North Atlantic Ocean. It branches south from the North Atlantic Current and flows southwestward along the northwest coast of Africa as far south of Senegal before turning westward to eventually join the Atlantic North Equatorial Current. The cool temperature of the water is produced by upwelling caused by offshore wind from the continent. Benefits to marine life and the nearby life. Phytoplankton over the shelf area phase 2 fades. They sink to the bottom or to be consumed by zooplankton. If they settle to the bottom, phytoplankton release ammonia during decomposition, which return nitrogens to the water. Consequently, the phytoplankton remains could be consumed by benthic dweller, which also excrete ammonia. If consumed by zooplankton, nitrogen from the phytoplankton will be returned to the environment via excreted ammonia or fecal pellets, which settles to the bottom. Regardless of the mechanism, a high proportion of phytoplankton nitrogen ends up being released in the shoreward moving lower layer of the water column. This water will later be upwell and can be stimulate further primary production. Barber and Smith estimated that on the shelf of Cap Blanc, regenerated nitrogen accounted for 72% of total nitrogen. Cold current or warm current. Canary Current is cold current that passes near Canary Islands. They give desiccating effect or drying effect to the Sahara Desert, resulting in no rainfall.
That's all, and thank you.